Title: A Journey to Dragon Mountain. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, there lived a young boy named Tommy. Tommy was known for his adventurous spirit and his insatiable curiosity. He dreamt of embarking on grand journeys and having remarkable adventures, just like the heroes in the stories his grandmother used to tell him. One sunny morning, as Tommy played by the babbling brook near his home, he noticed something peculiar. Glistening in the water's reflection was a shimmering, golden leaf. Tommy reached into the water and retrieved the leaf, examining it in awe. It was unlike anything he had ever seen before, and he knew that this discovery was no ordinary occurrence. Excitement surged through Tommy's veins as he thought about the magical stories his grandmother had told him. Perhaps this golden leaf was a sign, a key to a world of enchantment waiting to be explored. With the leaf held tightly in his hand, Tommy rushed home to share his discovery with his grandmother. His grandmother, a wise and gentle woman, listened attentively to Tommy's tale. She smiled and said, "My dear, that golden leaf is a symbol of a great adventure waiting for you. It's time for you to embark on your own journey." Tommy's heart leaped with joy. He knew that his grandmother's stories held kernels of truth, and now it was his turn to create his own legend. His grandmother gave him a satchel filled with supplies, a map, and a compass. "You must head to Dragon Mountain," she said. "It's a place of wonder and mystery, but you must be brave, kind, and clever. Remember, not all dragons are what they seem." With a hug and a tear in his eye, Tommy set off on his journey. He walked through dense forests, climbed steep hills, and crossed clear streams. Along the way, he met forest creatures who shared their wisdom, and he helped them in return. He offered a hand to a squirrel whose acorns had fallen into a river, and the squirrel told him about the hidden paths in the forest. He shared his food with a family of rabbits, and they gave him advice on crossing the treacherous marshlands. As Tommy ascended Dragon Mountain, he encountered a creature unlike any he had ever seen, a small dragon named Drizzle. Drizzle was not like the fierce dragons in stories. Instead, he had a kind heart and a playful spirit. Drizzle offered to guide Tommy through Dragon Mountain, and together, they discovered secret caves filled with glowing crystals, sparkling waterfalls, and fields of colorful flowers. Drizzle even taught Tommy to speak a bit of Dragonese. At the mountain's peak, Tommy found an ancient, wise dragon named Eldoria. Eldoria shared tales of the mountain's history and the magic that flowed through it. Eldoria also gave Tommy a special gift, an enchanted feather that would guide him home whenever he wished to return. With the wisdom of Eldoria and the friendship of Drizzle, Tommy's heart swelled with gratitude. It was time to return home, but he knew that his adventures were far from over. As Tommy descended Dragon Mountain, he knew that his journey had been a magical one, filled with kindness, bravery, and wonder. He realized that the stories he created along the way would be treasures he could share with his grandmother and generations to come. And so, Tommy returned to his village, but he was forever changed by his journey to Dragon Mountain. The golden leaf remained a symbol of his adventurous spirit, reminding him that there was always more magic waiting to be discovered, right in the world around him. Title: The Enchanted Garden Tea Party. In a cozy little village, nestled at the edge of a lush forest, there lived a young girl named Lily. Lily was known throughout the village for her vibrant imagination and her love of nature. She spent her days exploring the woods, collecting colorful leaves, and making friends with the creatures that called the forest their home. One sunny morning, as Lily ventured deeper into the forest than ever before, she stumbled upon a hidden path. This path led her to a clearing filled with the most magnificent garden she had ever seen. The garden was ablaze with vibrant blooms of every color imaginable. There were roses, daisies, and tulips swaying in the gentle breeze. As Lily wandered through the garden in awe, she noticed a peculiar sight: a small, talking rabbit wearing a top hat and a waistcoat, just like a character from one of her storybooks. "Hello, dearie," said the rabbit with a polite bow. "I'm Mr. Hopper, and welcome to the Enchanted Garden. We've been expecting you." Lily's eyes widened in surprise. "Expecting me? But how did you know I would be here?" Mr. Hopper chuckled. "This garden has a special way of knowing when someone with a kind and imaginative heart is near. And when such a person arrives, it's time for a tea party." With that, Mr. Hopper led Lily to a magnificent tea table beneath a giant, blooming sunflower. The table was adorned with fine china, colorful teapots, and the most delectable-looking treats. There were tiny cupcakes, finger sandwiches, and even miniature fruit tarts. Lily couldn't contain her excitement. She sat down at the table, and soon more whimsical creatures from the garden emerged. A chatty squirrel, a bashful butterfly, and a jolly gnome named Grumble all joined the party. As they sipped tea and nibbled on treats, the creatures shared stories of their adventures in the enchanted garden. The squirrel told tales of acorn races, the butterfly spoke of dances in the moonlight, and Grumble shared his adventures in the gnome village hidden beneath a toadstool. The more Lily listened, the more her imagination soared. She imagined herself racing squirrels, fluttering through the moonlight like a butterfly, and joining Grumble in the gnome village's merry festivities. The tea party continued for hours, and when it was time to leave, Lily felt a deep sense of gratitude for the newfound friends she had made in the enchanted garden. Mr. Hopper presented her with a tiny bouquet of flowers as a parting gift. "Remember, dearie," he said, "the enchanted garden will always welcome you back whenever you need a bit of magic and imagination in your life." With a joyful heart and a promise to return, Lily bid her friends farewell and followed the hidden path out of the garden. As she stepped back into the village, she knew that her life would forever be filled with the enchantment of the enchanted garden. And so, whenever Lily needed a touch of magic and imagination, she would visit the garden, where the flowers bloomed brighter, the tea tasted sweeter, and her heart danced with the whimsical tales of her enchanted friends. Title: The Magical Adventures of Sparkle the Unicorn. Once upon a time, in a land filled with enchantment and wonder, there lived a special creature named Sparkle the Unicorn. Sparkle had a lustrous, shimmering mane and a horn that sparkled like 1,000 stars. But what made Sparkle truly magical was her ability to grant wishes. Children from all over the kingdom would visit Sparkle to make their dearest wishes. Sparkle, with her kind heart, would listen to their wishes and use her magic to make them come true. Whether it was a wish for a sunny day, a new friend, or a pocketful of wildflowers, Sparkle never failed to make dreams a reality. One sunny morning, as Sparkle was grazing in a meadow filled with rainbow-colored flowers, she heard a faint cry for help. She followed the sound and discovered a young girl named Lily stuck in the branches of a tall tree. "Help! Please, someone, help me!" cried Lily. Without hesitation, Sparkle used her magic to gently lift Lily from the tree and set her down safely on the ground. Lily's eyes widened in amazement as she realized who had come to her rescue. "You're Sparkle the unicorn," she exclaimed. "I've heard about you and your magical powers." Sparkle nodded and smiled kindly. "That's me. Are you all right, dear?" Lily nodded, still in awe of the unicorn before her. "Yes, thanks to you, Sparkle. But I do have a wish. I've always wanted to have a magical adventure. Could you grant that wish for me?" Sparkle's horn glowed brightly, and she nodded. "Of course, Lily. Hop on my back, and let's embark on a magical adventure together." Lily climbed onto Sparkle's back, and with a graceful leap, they soared into the sky. They flew over emerald forests, shimmering lakes, and fields of blooming wildflowers. Below them, the world transformed into a landscape of enchantment. Their first stop was a sparkling waterfall that flowed with the sweetest nectar. Lily cupped her hands and tasted the nectar, which filled her with a sense of wonder and joy. Next, they visited a grove where the trees whispered secrets in a language only Sparkle and Lily could understand. The secrets were tales of courage, kindness, and the magic that existed in every corner of the world. As the day went on, Sparkle and Lily encountered playful fairies, mischievous sprites, and wise old owls. They danced with fireflies, sang with the birds, and made friends with creatures of all shapes and sizes. Finally, as the sun began to set, Sparkle brought Lily back to her home. Lily's heart was filled with gratitude for the magical adventure she had experienced. "Thank you, Sparkle," Lily said with a smile. "This has been the most incredible day of my life." Sparkle nodded, her horn glowing with warmth. "Remember, Lily, the magic of the world is always around you. All you have to do is believe." With that, Lily bid farewell to Sparkle, knowing that the unicorn would continue to grant wishes and share her magic with all those who believed. And so, the magical adventures of Sparkle the unicorn continued, as she filled the hearts of children with wonder, kindness, and the belief that magic truly existed in the world.